you know, create raps. It wasn't hard for me to write rhymes and things like that. This is when I used to write. Like in my earlier days, I used to write every day, every single day, in the kitchen, banging on the table. My mom, it was then I wasn't really just trying to get a record deal, so I would run the streets after that. Then I just stopped writing. So then I would still get all these ideas. I have all these ideas, and I still make songs. But I now I'm making these songs in my head. But so it still wasn't a serious thing to me. To my man Chaz, who was also from Marcy, he got a record deal, EMI. Then it was like, and I had to put the album out myself. Nobody would sign me. They thought I was terrible. Every single record, I went to every single record label. They was like, this guy is terrible. He's nothing. No one gave me anything. They didn't give me a record deal. They didn't give me anything. Like I really just took my time and grew it step by step by step by step.
Don't listen to anyone because their experience is unique to who they are. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people will try to put their fears on you. You can't do that. No, you can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they just projecting, they're putting things that they don't believe that they can do on you. And you may possibly can do it. Like my uncle. My uncle, he was telling me like, my uncle said I never sell 1 million records. I sold 1 million records like 1 million times. You know, so he was, I'm sure I'm his nephew. I don't think he meant any malice.
He wanted the best for you, but he
just was
didn't
projecting
believe.
his fears and things that, are you crazy? How are you gonna do that? How? You know, I'm sure there's things that I do now that he can't believe that I was able to accomplish. But he couldn't even see it at the time. So he was just projecting, putting his fears on me. So the whole thing is just, you know, and always believe you're great, even before anybody else believes it. Getting to know yourself, that's the most difficult thing to do. It's easy to get to know other people, like get to know yourself and like really like know yourself and really ask yourself the question that you don't want to hear. What role did you play? It's easy to say, everybody's doing this to me. People are saying that I'm this capitalist when I'm really just trying to like inspire the culture and bring all my family with me and all my friends. Their whole lives is change. You know what I'm saying? But it's easy to say that. But then ask, what role do I play?
Right.
I play a role in that too. I'm the one saying 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4. So if a person thinks that's what I'm all about, yeah, I can get that. If you just heard that, if you didn't take a deep dive into what I'm saying and with the proper context, you may think that's all I'm all about. So I have to take ownership of some of the things that I've said as well, to lead to that decision of why people think.
Thing to be as successful as someone else. You know, that's a very difficult thing to upkeep, and it's very tiring. You know, I feel sorry for someone who has to walk out the house every day as someone else to make this art and to make something that people connect to. And whatever you've made is not you, and you're not happy about it, but it's successful. Just to maintain that level of success, it has to be very draining and, you know, very sad existence, because at some point you have to go home. And when you go home, you know, all the lights are off and everything's off, and you have to look in the mirror and you have to look at yourself and say, man, I like who I am, or I'm not very happy with who I am. By my third album, I had the combination of failing with those pop records and the true and real music that I wanted to make. And I blended those two together, and I made a song called Hard Knock Life. And that album was when I knew that I can do it.
But that's what everything, right? In life, people emulate the end result, not the process. The end result is what they see, and they emulate that. And it's like, no, it's this. All this went these free throws. Before Kobe scored that 61, that day.
You were there?
That day. That day he was practicing. Practice his whole life. Are you willing to put in that sort of commitment? Are you willing to practice the whole life? You know, Mayweather's running right now, probably. You know what I'm saying? Are you willing? Yeah, I'm sure you want to be on a jet and all that, but do you want to put in that work? That's what it takes. With something great, that amount of time, that level of commitment. You know what I mean? You know, you see the cycle. It happens all the time, and in the projects, you know, you're having a certain life, and it leads either to jail or it leads to death. So, I mean, it's up to you to change it. And for me, it was like, what I'm gonna do? Like, I'm gonna just keep running the streets forever? What I'm gonna do when I get 30? You know what I'm saying? That always stuck with me. So I had a talent to rap, but it was a gift. And I didn't recognize it as a gift in the beginning because it was a gift. So it came easy for me to put words together. And my mom will always be like, anything that you want, you got to work hard for it.
I could say we were geniuses and said we're going to start our own company. That's not what happened. In the beginning, we went to every single label, and every single label shut their door on us. The genius thing that we did was we didn't give up. We didn't say, because these guys, we use that what do they know approach. We didn't give up at that point. I think that was the genius thing we did. We started selling our own CDs, and we built our own buzz, and then the record company came back to us. So now we had a different negotiation. It wasn't the same artist label relationship. Now we retain ownership in our own company, and it was the best thing for us.
By the way, when you go back and listen to your old stuff, how does it make you feel? Do you remember that guy? Do you like?
I can hear the tone. I know exactly where I was on my second album, and like volume 1. First of all, I'm coming straight from out of the streets. I know every rapper says that. But I'm coming I'm fresh out the streets, and like the whole world changed around me. I had an album out, you know what I'm saying? And everything is inspiration. Everything I can draw a tree exactly where I come from. It's Big Daddy Kane and Rakim. Everybody's inspired by someone.
For sure.
I can tell you that Basquiat painting came from that Picasso painting,
Exactly.
which came from that African mask. All those Picasso paintings came from African masks. Did he steal it? Was he inspired by it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But we all inspired. We're all artists. I can tell you the move that Bron does, that's directly from MJ. What
But
MJ
it's
got
funny
from
because
Dr. J. The goal is not to be successful and famous. That's not the goal. The goal is, if you have a specific God-given ability, is to live your life out through that.
Right.
1. And 2, we have a responsibility to push the conversation forward until we're all equal. Until we're all equal in this place, because until everyone's free, no one's free. And that's just the fact. I think again, it goes back to a bit of what Warren was saying as well. Like, it's the discipline as well, the discipline to not get caught up in the moment. Music is like stocks too. There's the hot thing of the moment. There's this hot electro sound, or the hot auto-tune voice, or the hot whatever's new and exciting. And people tend to make emotional decisions based on that. They don't stick with what they know. This is who I am. This is what I do. And then they, jump on this next hot thing, and it's not for you. So for me, just having the discipline and having the confidence that in who I am, and if I go into a studio and if I find my truth of the moment, there are a number of people in the world that can relate to what I'm saying, and it's gonna buy into what I'm doing. Not because it's the new thing of the moment, but because it's my genuine emotions. It's how I feel. It's how I articulate the world. And, just having the discipline to just, be yourself.
How we knew. And then I went and recorded a demo with, shout out to Clark Kent, Brooklyn DJ, legendary Clark Kent. And I recorded a demo, and I went to every single record company. And you know what they say, right? That shit is trash. But the audacity of hip hop, we didn't believe them. I, for not 1 second, got depressed. For 1 second, I didn't change my course. It was like, we're gonna create our own company, That's hip hop. So we made an album, Reasonable Doubt. My heroes is like repeating this thing back. So I knew I was on the right track. And then we dropped the second album. Oops. I got too ambitious, and I was doing some things that I shouldn't have been doing. And again, those heroes helped me again. I thought back to, what made them so great. And what made them great is they was 100% authentic to who they were.